It's an interesting time for business. Tariff and trade policies are dynamic, supply chains are squeezed, and cash flow, it's tighter than ever. If your business can't adapt in real time, you are in a little bit of hurt. So how do you get full visibility and adapt in real time? Over 42,000 businesses trust NetSuite by Oracle, your AI-powered business management suite. It brings accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all under one roof. NetSuite is the #1 cloud ERP for a reason. It's your single source of truth, giving you the data and control you need to move quickly. Real-time forecasting helps you move into the future with confidence, and with AI built in, you can automate the busy work and focus on strategy. NetSuite helps you see what's stuck, what it's costing you, and how to pivot fast. If I were running a business with a lot of moving parts, I'd use NetSuite for full control over everything. Tame the chaos with NetSuite. If your revenues are at least in the 7 figures, download the free ebook, Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders at netsuite.com/SPI. That's netsuite.com/SPI. You spent months building towards launch day, but when the clock hits 0, your site crashes. Bots swarm, and loyal fans rage on Reddit. That's not good. Fanfare was built to stop that. Fanfare is the drop platform made for high-pressure moments, stampede-proof infrastructure, verified waitlists, and bot filters that actually work. Instead of refunds and rage, you get retention and revenue. And that sounds great to me. Your next launch shouldn't be a gamble. Get Fanfare's 5-step hype drop playbook and learn how to bulletproof your drop at fanfare.io/playbook. Again, that's fanfare.io/playbook. Hey, I get it. You've worked really hard to build up your business, and it's doing great. So great that you need help now. The most important thing for your business is to hire the right people to support it. So how can you find amazing candidates quickly? Easy. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you stand out and hire fast. And with Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. And it makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, Sponsored Jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. And it's one of the largest databases of job seekers, too, giving business owners access to a wide range of candidates. And one of the things I love most about Indeed is the job alerts feature. I get notified when new candidates apply. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/smartpassive. Just go to Indeed.com/smartpassive right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/smartpassive. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring Indeed is all you need. This is the Smart Passive Income Podcast with Pat Flynn, session number 128.
Welcome to the Smart Passive Income Podcast, where it's all about working hard now so you can sit back and reap the benefits later. And now your host, he can spin a pencil like a champion, Pat Flynn.
Still using a copy-paste website? Break the template trap with Framer. Whether you're overwhelmed by traditional site builders or frustrated with cookie-cutter designs, Framer gives you the freedom to create a site that's professional, polished, and uniquely yours. Framer is the design-first, no-code website builder that lets anyone ship a production-ready site in minutes. It's free to start, allowing you to browse hundreds of pixel-perfect templates or even design something on your own on a totally blank canvas. Add bold animations like appear effects, text effects, parallax scrolling, scroll animations, looping animations, and much more in seconds. The built-in AI handles the heavy lifting, generating starter layouts, and can even translate your entire site to any language. Ready to build a site that looks hand-coded without hiring a developer? Launch your site for free at framer.com and use code SPI to get your first month of pro on the house. That's framer.com, promo code SPI. Framer.com, promo code SPI. Rules and restrictions may apply. Hiring shouldn't be a hassle or a drain on your budget. Upwork is your one-stop shop to find, hire, and pay top freelance talent, saving you time and keeping costs in check all in one place. Companies at every stage turn to Upwork to get things done and find more flexibility in the way that they staff key projects and initiatives by assessing a global marketplace filled with top talent in IT, web development, AI, design, administration support, marketing, and more. And I've personally used them myself and can vouch for them. Posting a job on Upwork is easy. With no cost to join, you can register, browse freelancer profiles, get help drafting a job post, or even book a consultation. From there, you connect with freelancers that get you and can easily hire them to take your business to the next level. Upwork makes the entire process easier, simpler, and more affordable with industry-low fees. Post a job today and hire tomorrow with Upwork. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That is Upwork.com to post your job for free and connect with top talent ready to help your business grow. That's UPWORK.com, Upwork.com. Go there now.
I always wanted to be able to do that.
Practice, John. Practice. That's all it takes. A lot of practice. Like with anything. What's up, guys? Thanks so much for joining me today. This is episode 128 of the Smart Passive Income Podcast. A great interview. I'm going to talk briefly about what it's about, and then we're going to get right into it. Not going to waste any time today. Today's interview is with Manu, Kalia, somebody who actually came to one of me and Chris Ducker's one-day business breakthrough events, and he's doing some amazing stuff. He has a site at Wellness.com, and he's a physical therapist, a clinical herbalist, and an exercise science specialist. And he's taken a lot of the advice from Smart Passive Income through the podcast and on the blog and has applied it into his business, and he's doing really well. He actually quit his job last year to go full-time with this. So without further ado, let's introduce Manu. Manu, what's up? Welcome to the Smart Passive Income Podcast. How are you?
I'm doing great, Pat. Thank you for having me on. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, this is great. You know, we recently connected, like I said, here in San Diego with Chris Ducker at our one-day business breakthrough event. You're doing amazing things, wonderful job, and we're going to get into all of that today. But why don't you just take a second to introduce yourself to everybody out there listening? What is it that you do?
Okay, my name is Manu, Kalia. I'm a physical therapist. I'll just tell you a little bit about myself, and an Ayurveda herbalist, which is East Indian holistic medical system. Been working for a while in the physical therapy field, and about 15 years or so. And a few years ago, I initially started an online herbal products company, which is going well. And that was my first foray into the internet marketing arena because I was primarily selling my products online. So the journey initially started when as I was working as a PT, I decided to put up some videos for some of my patients. And my patients, and they were mainly for some exercises and a few educational videos, so they could go back and they could refer to them when they finished their physical therapy. And then after a while, I noticed that I was getting quite a bit of a response on those videos. They were just on YouTube and they weren't shot, professionally or anything, but the content was good and it was relevant. And so I started getting a lot of responses back from patients as well as people on YouTube. So over time, I realized people wanted me to shoot more and more videos. And as I started shooting more stuff and getting more questions, I started spending more time answering a lot of these questions. And I think over time, I must have answered hundreds of questions initially. So that kind of led me to see that, that there was... I really enjoyed doing that, and the second thing I realized was that this would allow me to have an independent, an online business possibly. Plus, I could get my message out to a much larger audience. So that's what initially led me down that path.
Okay, so physical therapist, and you have clients that you work with, and you just started putting up these videos for them after they started working with you. You never really thought that these would take off or other people would see them necessarily, or you would end up turning this into a business. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. As a physical therapist, I wanted to, and it was just for my patients initially. And for example, I've been following a lot of your work for a number of years, and, so it wasn't like I was planning this out, but it just happened that I said, well, wow, I'm getting a lot of response back, and a lot of people are interested in this. So I figured that, the positive response made me realize that, hey, I could probably create more content for people, and I could really get this information out to a much larger audience. And that's kind of led me down that path then. So there was no plan initially. But then as I started getting better response, I decided to create more and more video and content.
Yeah, actually, when I checked you out for the first time and went on your website and saw your videos, actually, it was Matt Gartland who introduced me to you. I saw your videos and I was like, I'm not even, in your target audience. And I was like, wow, these are really well done. And I was engaged. I was like, okay, let's do this. So I want to talk about your video strategy. But before we get to that, I'm on your homepage right now at TridoshAWellness.com. And I'm looking at one of the first videos I see on the page, and it's about shin splints. So, shin splints massage treatment, which actually I've had shin splints before, and it's terrible. It's just the worst pain in the world. But this was put up less than a week ago, and here you are getting like a ton of comments already. I already see 17 comments on your blog about this video, and people coming in saying like, wow, this is great. Wow, I'm not even a runner, but this is very useful. Thank you so much. And then you're coming in and responding. This is so cool. And the big lesson here for everybody is, you're teaching stuff out there and you're building a community using yourself as an example. You're bringing other people in as well. It's just really cool. You wouldn't think that there would be people actually responding and leaving blog comments on a site like this, but here it is. And I think this is part of the reason why you're just doing really well, is because you happen to, I don't know, strike a nerve, if you will, with or hit a chord with people out there who are going through these troubles, and they're going to you to find those solutions.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because, you said initially that your videos weren't very well produced. At what point were you like, okay, I got some people watching video's hot, let's actually put some production behind it. What did you do, and how did you get started with that?
Well, like I said, the initial ones were basic videos. But the funny thing is, Pat, that some of the initial ones, in fact, actually, I think it's my first video, and that has about 300 or 400,000 views, and I think it was primarily because of the content. But yeah, basically about a year and a half into it, after shooting videos, I realized, I'm going to start producing higher quality content. So that's when I got a better camera, and I started to get some lighting and those things, and started to invest more time into it. So that's when I really realized, okay, well, I can not only create better videos, but then also I started to get more feedback from people who are watching the videos and telling me, okay, I like videos, this one was good, this one helped me a lot. So then I could start tailoring on the responses I was getting, and also on the questions that I answered would give me a lot of feedback, not only on YouTube and other social media platforms, but also on my site. I realized I started getting a lot of questions on my site on specific problems. So I said, okay, well, now I can start shooting videos on those specific problems that I'm trying to address. So that's, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, absolutely. I mean, that's fantastic. When you post stuff on your site, on YouTube, through a podcast, you need to give your audience an opportunity to talk back to you. That's how you build a culture. That's how you build identity with you and your brand. That's what makes people keep coming back. But that's also how you can listen and tap into that audience that you're building, and not only further that trust, but be able to serve them even better. And so, for example, I see very specific videos about very specific issues that people are asking about, whether they're runners or some different kind of athlete with certain problems, like just listening to your audience and creating those solutions. And I'm here on your YouTube channel, and some of your videos have 300,000 views, 400,000 views, and 10,000 subscribers. And to be honest with you, Manu, this is like really surprising to me for this particular niche, giving this kind of very specific advice. But like I said, when you give great content like this and you give people an opportunity to talk back, and you give and deliver to them, they're going to subscribe, they're going to come back to you. And it's not like you were doing keyword research, right? Like you were just producing content based on everything your audience was saying. Is that right?
Yeah, totally. Early on, I was not necessarily doing keyword research. I was just posting comments. And my clinical experience gave me some background as to, I knew what are some of the subjects that people have issues with. So I knew what kind of content I could create. But then, posting videos and then the answering questions in these channels as well as on my site kind of validated those things and said, okay, here's my clinical experience, and this is what in online people are asking me too. So I was able to see, okay, basically getting feedback, and I was able to see, well, okay, what I'm thinking is truly, is also in line with what people are asking me. And after that is when I really started to do more keyword research and try to figure out, once I decided to see, for example, I would see like, well, these specific videos on these specific knee videos, for example, have more views, or they have a lot more questions. And also what I have posted has helped people the most, because people would come back and they would respond, whether from the answer I gave them or also just otherwise, they would come back and say, hey, that technique was really helpful. So, initially it did take a bit of time, because I went back and I would look at the answers and see what people were saying. So that then I started doing more of the keyword research part.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very smart strategy to see what you are already posting and see what of that seems to resonate most with your audience. Like, we should all be doing that. We should all be understanding what our most popular podcast episodes are, what our most popular videos are, what our most popular blog posts are, and talk more about those things. It's validation that those are topics that are hot for your particular audience. We should all be doing that right now. We should all go to Google Analytics. We should find our top and most popular posts and find and discover different ways to bring them back to light. I mean, you don't have to, you shouldn't republish that post, obviously, but you can bring it back in a different light, in a different angle, talk more about it, more advanced strategies, more strategies beyond what you already talked about. And I just recently did this. For example, I had Clay Collins on my podcast in episode number 78, which is all about email list building and conversions. And then I had him on again, and it's just become even more popular. I mean, we talked a lot about the same types of strategies, but more advanced versions of those strategies, and it's just done extremely well. So understand what you're talking about on your site that's working and talk more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely key, listening to your audience and kind of, I think keyword research is important, but it's more, firsthand responses coming from people, whether they come to your Facebook page or they come to your YouTube channel or wherever else, or they personally ask you questions. I think that is very important as a first stepping stone, and then you can go down the keyword research route.
Totally. Now, in terms of your videos and the structure of those videos, in terms of what's working best for teaching people, I mean, you're teaching stuff that will help improve people's lives. You're getting people to exercise and get down on the floor. I mean, you've done teaching a lot now through video. What seems to be working best? Are there any tips you have or ideas for how to best structure or best teach on a platform like YouTube or through video?
Yeah. Well, one of the things I realized is that I know the general guidelines are, keep your videos short, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, just because of the attention span. But honestly, one of the big things I found was, besides giving the introduction and what I'm going to teach them that day, what we're going to go over, I tend to take a little bit more time. I'm taking a slightly different approach. I want to answer their specific question in as much detail as possible. So I kind of made a conscious effort early on not to limit myself and say, oh, okay, I'm just going to, keep this to be a really short video. I'm going to really give them the maximum amount of information. So that was one thing. And so answering that question, whatever question somebody might have, or a specific problem, and then explaining that and then demonstrating that, whether showing them the technique, or for that matter, whether using a whiteboard or something and explaining the problem to them.
Awesome. Now, Manu, it's one thing to create successful videos with lots of views and build a big channel, but it's another to actually turn it into a business. How are you turning these videos into an income generator for you?
Well, so what the initial journey, once I started figuring out that I was getting a fair amount of traffic coming from there, and there was a lot of response, and that's what led me to designing a program, and this is all again based on what the audience was asking for. People were asking for, whether online or via email. I kind of went through, and actually I hired someone a VA to go through all the questions that we had on the site as well as on my YouTube, the ones that I had answered. So we kind of organized them, and we basically did a bit of a keyword research to kind of figure out, which were the common topics. And so we were able to get a better sense of what were the common issues people were dealing with, which ones were the most popular issues, and which ones had the best response, which took a little bit of time. But one, it was a great learning experience for me. Can I truly translate what I teach people offline in the clinic? Can I do it in this format here? And then can people get a response out of that, a positive response? So once I got I figured out that, okay, the need-related issues were one of the most common things people were dealing with. Those are the ones that had the maximum response. Those are the ones that had the maximum questions, and people were wanted to answer to those questions. That's when I went and I decided I was going to design a program, and that's what I designed, an information product. So multimedia product, that's what I wanted to go with, a video-based platform, but also a book. And so I wanted to give them something comprehensive.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. What's the name of the product?
It's called Build Better Knees.
Nice.
So it's not just for somebody who has ongoing knee issues, but it's for anyone who's looking to stay active, to run, and or just even for athletes to prevent problems, or for that matter to improve performance. It's really a comprehensive solution that I wanted to put together, which brings in both my Eastern and Western medicine concepts together and gives something unique to everyone out there.
That's really cool. I'm on the site right now for everybody out there. If you go to buildbetterneeds.com, that'll redirect you to the page on Tradosha Wellness with the sales page. And it looks really good. I see a nice video there, your awesome face, and you have this really cool headset on so you can like do demonstrations. You are obviously working with a client or somebody who you're doing demos with in this sales page video, which is really cool. Now, I did notice one thing here. It says specifically it's for runners. And I know being a runner myself that knee pain is a huge issue.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious though, because a lot of people have knee pain issues, and is this just based off of I'm curious to know where this comes from in terms of narrowing down your niche specifically for runners here.
Well, initially the intent was to go with runners because that is one of the most common problems in runners, and also it was to kind of target the market a little bit, to bring some focus into it, because there are a lot of different knee problems out there. So if there's somebody who is elderly who has arthritic knees, they can get a lot out of the program, but they might not be able to do certain things, and they might not be looking at the same. They might not have the same goals. They might have just the goal of being able to walk, for example, or basic day-to-day activities like gardening or something else. So this was, to kind of narrow down and also focus myself and then the product, so it stays more targeted. And that was the reasoning behind targeting runners or people who are athletic and creating a product specifically for them.
Mm-hmm. You could target the CrossFit community, right? Because aren't they going through a lot of pain right now? If you don't do the exercises right, I hear you can be in massive pain in CrossFit. But I think targeting the running community is great because there's obviously a big sort of movement now for these runs. A lot of half marathons and 5Ks and fun runs and stuff like that. That's going really well. But I feel like this is just one of the many knee related niches you could get into. I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities. As they say, the riches are in the niches or niches.
Yes, totally. And actually, you're absolutely right, on both counts. That was one of the other reasons for creating or targeting more towards runners, because in the last 10 years, the number of marathons, half marathons, all these events have gotten significantly larger. More and more people are running and engaging in those athletic activities. So higher incidence of those problems. And though non-runners can definitely use the product also and get the same kind of response and get benefit, then yes, it also leaves me open to, design things that are in different, for different groups, let's say you have arthritic knees or other problems you have.
For sure. Yeah, and I'm reading the testimonials right now. A lot of great feedback from your audience, which is cool. How's the product been doing? How's it working for you?
Product's done really well. The launch was just it was in beginning of June, so it hasn't been that long, about 2 months now. And the first month we had a 5-figure launch,
nice,
which was awesome, and not something that I did not anticipate, honestly, but it went really well.
It's a good surprise, though.
Yeah, it is a great surprise, and I attribute a lot of that to people that were supporting me. It's just not by myself. I had a great team, Matt Garland, Winning Edits. They helped me not only with the design and with the whole strategy behind the launch too. So that was phenomenal, their help.
Cool.
And then since then, it's been 4-figure month, and so now it's a matter of figuring out how we can continue marketing the product and how to build on that.
That's really cool. Now, can you walk us through sort of how you launched it? So, you built this audience and you found a particular need in that audience. You built a product for that specific need, as a solution for that problem. And so how did you launch it? Did you have a plan going in, or were you just like, after the product was done, you're like, hey, here you go, guys, here it is. Like, was there an event perhaps? Like, walk us through how that went down.
Well, this is where, where I said, I've been following your work for so long, and I learned, so much from you, and watching what you did with your launch of your book and other things. So I have to say I borrowed a lot of your stuff. And it was
Good.
great.
That's why it's there.
So that was awesome. And so we also decided, in terms of strategy, what we wanted to do was I wanted to have a core group of ambassadors we created, which were people who like the work I'm doing, who are fans of my work, and who have supported me all along the way. So a lot of these people I had helped also in the past too. So these people, I gave them all the early copies of the book as well as the product, so they could really look at it and let us know what they thought about it. And the second thing was they were also able to, in turn, spread the word organically through their social media platforms and on Amazon and various things. So that was one big part of the strategy, as well as my subscriber list. They were also very, very helpful in getting the word out. And then the second part we did do some YouTube video marketing. That was helpful. And spent some time on Facebook marketing. And the third paid marketing that I tried was I did Bing and Yahoo AdWords. I did not go with Google AdWords. I tried that first. It was a lot more expensive. So I chose the Bing Google AdWords route, and actually worked really well. So
really?
Yeah.
Huh. So in terms of the YouTube marketing, the Facebook advertising, and the Bing Yahoo advertising, which one worked out the best?
The Bing Yahoo AdWords surprisingly brought, very targeted traffic back to the landing page. That worked really well, and without spending that much money. And then the YouTube video marketing worked really well too.
That's really interesting. Why do you think the Yahoo/Bing marketing? I mean, nobody talks about that ever. Why do you think it works so well?
I suspect part of it is, they have obviously a smaller market share. But there was still a significant amount of people that are on it. I think I was reading somewhere, I might not be completely accurate on this, but I was reading somewhere it was about, I think, a quarter of the search engine, Google has about 75%, and Bing Yahoo has about 25% share. Mm-hmm. So I found that, I could advertise for cheaper on those platforms, and my ads were listed better, and my click-through rates were much better on that. I just suspect that there's so many people on Google AdWords. It is much more expensive, and it's hard to get, yourself, unless you're spending a lot of money. And initially I didn't have that to do that. So that's why I think it was more successful.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. So a paid ad strategy using YouTube and Facebook and Yahoo and Bing, and that one actually seemed to work out really well for you, which is really cool. And you also had your ambassadors, and I love hearing that. I love when people utilize those ambassadors, those core group of raving fans that they have, because those are the people who are going to market for you. And do it without you actually having to ask very much of them. I use that for my own book launch. It's just utilizing these relationships that you've built with, people that you've helped before, and we put fancy words to it like, networking and things like that. But this is just real life. When you help somebody, they're going to help you. I'm curious, in terms of the size of your ambassador group, what kind of numbers are we talking about here?
For my launch, there were actively about at least 60, 70 people that were active ambassadors who were out there not only getting the word out. And this was the first tier. The second tier, there were other people too that were there who might not have been as active, but they also helped, meaning getting the word out on their social media platforms.
Yeah, that's awesome. And for those of you listening, you might be like, wow, that's actually not that many people. You're right, it's not that many people, but it doesn't take that many people to truly make a big difference for your business, for your brand, for that product that you're marketing. If you've helped somebody and they believe in you, if they believe in your product, they're going to be there and they're going to help you out as much as they can. And it's just like having like multiples of you out there promoting and being evangelists for your product.
And honestly, like you said, that's a good point. It's, like I said, there were other people I could have approached and they would have done, but I really wanted a core group of people who I wanted to be able to get the word out. And actually for my purposes, that was enough for getting the word out to enough people out there.
Mm-hmm. That's great, Manu.
Yeah.
And you had a 5-figure launch. Mm-hmm. took along with it.
Yeah.
Now, beyond the product launch, just in your business in general, what were some of the mistakes, if any, that you've made along the way? Things that you wish you could sort of take back or do over? Any mistakes you'd like to share?
There are a few, Pat, but okay. So one big thing that I found was, and I'm sure everybody does that, and I've heard you say this 100 times, which is, early on I was trying to do everything myself, which wasn't quite working. So I think once I started to outsource some of the workout, that was a big thing. And I think if you're able to financially, if you can do that, I would highly recommend, or the tasks that you really don't like, or the tasks that are, difficult to do. I mean, for example, a lot of the website maintenance, coding, all these other things, I don't know those things. That's not my expertise. So it's better for me to leave that to people who are good at that. So that was one big thing, I think, in the overall progression of me getting into internet marketing. That has been a huge help, and that really freed me up to think of the bigger vision and the other tasks that I'm good at and I can handle. So the other thing that I found was early on, I was spending a lot of time on my blog posts. I was writing articles. I was doing a lot of writing. And I realized that it took me a lot longer, and maybe partly because of the type of content, partly because of, my tendency to be a bit of a perfectionist on things. So, and thus it's taken me longer to get even the book out and the whole launch, because I wanted to be just right and I want to really spend a lot of time on it. And I realized that the video format for me works really well, and it's easy for me to do. It works well. In a day I can knock out 10 videos, and I don't have to think about it because I've done this for so long. But the article writing was much longer, and so one big thing for me is you work with your strengths first. Whatever you're good at, you spend time doing that. You can always, once that part gets moving, build on one component of what you're good at, and then you can go back to other strategies also.
Yeah, I mean, blogging obviously is a great strategy to do. Write stuff on the web, people find it, they share it, people can learn from it. It's great. You get found on Google. But I think it's also important to, like you said, explore other platforms and use your strengths to your advantage. And, video might be more up your alley, or podcasting perhaps. And you not just up your alley, but your audience might respond better to that type of particular content. I can imagine people, for example, Manu, watching your videos and getting these very specific things that they should be doing with their body in terms of helping them feel better. And, it just makes sense that it's on video. So, of course, it would respond better than, say, a blog post where people would have to, do the exercise and then get back up and then get back down on the floor and they get back up to see the next step. Or maybe they, I can imagine somebody like holding an iPad in front of their face on the ground. But, it just makes sense for you, Manu, for video. And it's going to be different for everybody. I think you need to think about it in terms of what you enjoy doing and what you're comfortable doing, but you might not be comfortable doing what actually might be working best. And for me, it took me a little bit of time to get used to podcasting. But, once you get strong with one, you can move on to another, like you said. And the best and advice I can give you for all of this part of the discussion is to, test it out. Try one, get good at it, and try another one. If it doesn't work, you can always try other things. That's the beauty of this online business stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right about the testing thing. I think you're absolutely right. That is definitely very important to try out different mediums and see what works for you. And then you can, build on your strengths, and then you can learn some of the other ones too along the way as one gets moving. The other big thing I think was with the actual product, getting my program out. I think, and I know there's a lot of talk about the minimal viable product, getting that out fast, and then taking it to the audience and seeing what they think, and then improving on the product. So that's one other thing I think I might have done differently. And this kind of goes to more of my perfectionist nature about certain things. So I wanted to, I wanted to put everything in and make it so comprehensive that I did take quite a while to get it ready. But I think what I could have done was I could have gotten it out much faster to a core group of people that I know who actually I had approached initially, and I'd asked them what they would want in the product. But I could have created something early on and gotten it out to them, and then developed on it as I went along too.
So sort of like a beta group or a user group that you could test things things out.
I think I could have definitely, that would have been a good way to do. Although what I'm doing now is after the launch, what I've tried to do is I've actually gone back to the people that bought the product. I have, this again is going to take a little bit of time on my part, but I think it's important. I've gone back and I've approached the people who bought the product and I said, I am going to, because I want to talk to them. I want to find out why they bought the product, what they found helpful, what they didn't like about it. What questions would they, because my impression might be one thing. Well, maybe the person is coming for knee pain, I'm thinking, but maybe they're just coming just because they want to improve their performance. They're an athlete. They said, well, maybe this could help me improve my performance too. So this kind of really helps me figure out what it gives me another level of information, so how to improve on the product and also help me with my marketing.
Oh, I love that. I mean, for sure. I mean, too many people, when they sell a product, they feel like that's the end. I sold them, done. But no, that could be the beginning, and that's a great opportunity. Those are your target customers. Those are people who can tell you other things about that product, not just to help make that product better down the road, but to help make you make further products. And you might even be able to work with those same people who are existing customers to help shape and create those products that are going to help not only them, but everybody else in your audience who's hungry for the same type of stuff too.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that definitely, I think, is one thing where I'm working on now to get more feedback, and so I can get even more information on how to improve things, and for goodwill, Mm-hmm. And my purpose in that is not just to get my information, but also I want to know, is it actually helping them? And if it's not, I can answer those questions right there while I'm on. And this is I'm not charging them anything for this. This is an added benefit and service to them.
Mm-hmm. I love that. How do you think it makes them feel? The customer, like, wow, I just heard from the product owner. He's actually asking me for feedback. He cares. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Now,
so that's.
Manu, this has been a wonderful conversation. And before we wrap up, I do want to ask you one question for everybody out there who perhaps is struggling with their online business. They're getting stuff going. They're getting minimal results. What one or two tips do you have for those people who just need a little bit of motivation or some tips or strategies to get out of that funk?
Well, the big piece of advice is, I would say that figuring out, what their strengths are, and really looking at, what answers can they give to in their specific market or niche, whatever they're trying to do. And at more at a personal level, what questions can you answer, based on your strength? And if you can start helping people and addressing some questions, you will start getting some response back with that. That's one big thing, I think. And the second part is what I think I mentioned is, like, don't try to do everything yourself. Mm-hmm. And the importance of building a community of people who can help you out.
Awesome. Thank you, Manu. And I want to mention somebody who you just kind of reminded me of. Her name is Sally Hogshead, and she wrote a book called How the World Sees You. And I saw her speak live, and she had us all do this exercise before she came on stage to answer, what seemed like a survey question, but it was more so to understand our types of personalities and to give us this data about actually how other people see us and the other types of people that we and our different personality types, work best with. And it was just fascinating to see, in data form, how other people might view us, or how, where our strengths are and what we should be doing and what we should not be doing. It's really important to understand that. So if you're not quite sure, that could be a good book to pick up. So Sally Hogshead, How the World Sees You. I saw it at the bookstore the other day, actually. It's really colorful. It's cool. I'll put a link in the show notes for everybody. And, to close up, Manu, again, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing all of this. It's very inspirational and very cool. Thank you so much for sharing all the tips and strategies, and your launch tactics, too, are really extremely helpful. Where can people find out more information about you? So feel free to drop in any websites or anything that will help people find you.
It's tridoshawellness.com, and I'll send you the link if it's hard for people to. It's TRIDOSHA wellness.com. That's my site, and they can always punch in my name on YouTube, Manu Kalia, and then I'll pop up there too. So those are some of the places they can find me. And
if you have bad knees, buildbetterknees.com, right?
That's right.
Small plug for you there.
That's right. Thanks, Pat.
Dude, this is awesome. I'll have all the links in the show notes. You're great. Just keep doing what you're doing, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome, Pat. Thank you.
Cheers. All right, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Manu Kalia from TradoshaWellness.com and also BuildBetterKnees.com, a product I might actually need in the near future if I keep running the way I do, because after my last race, my knees hurt like mad, but I did PR. I got 1:58, 1 hour and 58 minutes for a half marathon. So that was awesome. And I have another half marathon coming up in LA at the end of this month in October. I'm also headed to the Avengers half marathon through Disneyland in November, and then in January I'm doing the Star Wars half marathon, which is going to be really cool, the first one ever. And again, that's also through Disney, because Disney bought Lucasfilm, or Star Wars, the rights to Star Wars, which is pretty crazy and awesome. And I don't know if I'm going to dress up because it's going to ruin my time. But anyway, I'm just rambling now. Just so excited that you're here listening to the show. I just want to thank you so much for all your support. The podcast just passed 10 million downloads, which is just insane. And I can't wait till the next 10 million. I'm going to continue to do what I do here and what I love best, which is just be here for you and try and deliver as much free content as I can here on the podcast and on the blog too. Don't forget the blog, smartpassiveincome.com. I'm writing a lot more content now. Sort of reignited my love for writing and just writing after coming back from Australia. Also have some videos coming live on SPI very soon. And you rock. I hope you've been enjoying the free podcast content here. I'm really excited because it's one of my favorite things to do, and I know a lot of you have already taken action from the content that you've listened to on the podcast. And if that's you, congratulations. Just keep going, please. It's one of my favorite things to see. But I also know a lot of you have been telling me that you've been wanting more. You've been wanting additional information, some accountability, some hand-holding along the way. And so depending on what it is that you're looking for, what I would recommend is actually go to smartpassiveincome.com/courses. You'll see the courses that I'm offering there that are paid courses, but they're there to help walk you through certain processes. Depending on what problem you have or what issue or what thing you're trying to solve, go there, check it out. You can see if there's a course available for you and where you're at in your business right now, whether you're just getting started and you just want to make sure you have all the right things in place before you actually devote a lot of time and effort into something. There's a course for you there. For those of you looking to get started with a podcast, there's stuff for you there. And there's going to be more courses there in the future. And how do I come up with those ideas for the courses? They come directly from you. So thank you for all telling me how I can help you better. And if you have ideas for more courses that I can create for you, just hit me up on Twitter @PatFlynn. Let me know, or use my contact page on smartpassiveincome.com. But again, check out and see what's available. smartpassiveincome.com/courses. That will be continually added to over time, so check it out. Thanks so much. Awesome. Thank you so much. For those of you who are flying to Maine, Portland, Maine this weekend, I will see you there at Agents of Change. I get to share the stage with a lot of awesome people, and I get to do the opening keynote for the event, which is great. Hope to see you there. If not, hopefully at a later event or online. Either way, love you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Smart Passive Income Podcast. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Smart Passive Income Podcast at www.smartpassiveincome.com.
Have you dreamt about being your own boss, but still haven't made the first steps to making that dream a reality? Well, I get that. Starting a business can feel super overwhelming with legal forms, paperwork, finances. It's a lot. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Taylor Brands. Taylor is a complete business builder designed to make launching your business simple and stress-free. You can register your LLC in just minutes, keeping your personal assets and the business assets separate from day one. From there, you get access to everything you need to get off the ground. Legal documents, licenses and permits, invoicing and bookkeeping tools, and even a 100-day business coaching program, all designed to help you hit the ground running. You'll also get a free, personalized business plan, branding tools, and so much more. And of course, listeners of this show get an exclusive 35% discount to get started. All you have to do is head to taylorbrands.com/SPI. That's TAILORBRANDS.com/SPI. Stop dreaming, start building with Taylor Brands. Hey, fellow podcaster, does this sound like something you've experienced? Record your podcast episode on one platform, download the files, edit in another app, then fire up a different tool just to create these social clips? Well, it can be clunky, time-consuming, and frankly overwhelming, especially for creators trying to grow. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Riverside. Riverside is the all-in-one platform. Record, edit, and repurpose your podcast content all in one place. You just log in, record with your guests no matter where you are in the world, and just like that, studio-quality audio and high-resolution video We use Riverside here at SPI as well now. With built-in AI, I can automatically clean up my audio, saving myself so much editing time, and it can even auto-generate clips to make promoting the show a breeze. And with Magic Clips, I can grab the best moments and repurpose them as short-form video, perfect for YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or Instagram, without re-recording a thing. So if you're tired of juggling tools and want a faster, simpler way to create and scale your content, it's time to try Riverside, built by creators for creators. Just go to smartpassiveincome.com/Riverside and use code SMART to get 1 month free on the Pro plan. That's smartpassiveincome.com/Riverside, promo code SMART.